Well, guys, good evening. Welcome to this second part of our session. Well, today we officially begin our second unit of this level, which is unit number 6. That means, and I really hope that you have already started working on the activities that you have on Moodle. That is a component that you work with Professor Laura Daniela, but of course it's my duty to remind you about the development of those activities in particular. At the end of the day, the idea is that they work as that, let's say, own time activities to do, more like those activities to practice outside the 4 hours that we have during the day, which is a lot of time, of course, but hopefully those moments of autonomous work let you know how much you are advancing. I'm sure that in your case, this is not a problem, but just like to refresh your memory on that. Well, guys, before I take attendance, just to have a look the different component that we will be studying on our unit 6. We'll talk about aspects of grammar like perfect tenses, more about present perfect, simple, and continuous. I dare to say that this would be just a review for you. These are different grammatical components that have been like repeated a lot. So this will be just like a way to refresh your memory. In terms of vocabulary, we will be talking about human achievements and firsts. The task will be about present, an idea for a TV program. I would eventually in the work culture, if it is included, of course, if we have enough time, unsung heroes. This is the idea of our unit 6, okay? So as I was telling you before we start, let me take attendance and then we can begin with our warm-up of the night. Actually, I was waiting like a couple of minutes, but it's time. Let me see. Okay, there are 2 more people arriving here. I have to stop sharing for a moment. Sure, we're here, but I think I solved it. Let me see. Yes. When the screen is loading, which is the important part. Let me start. Today is the 9th. Saraya Acevedo.
Hello, teacher, I'm here.
Hello. Cristian Albarracín.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Joely Ayala. Not here for the moment. Andrea Vaca.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Gilbert Cárdenas. Not here for the moment. John Carrero. Not here. Brian Cordero.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Stephanie Córdoba.
Here, teacher.
Okay. Silvia Durán.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Freddy Fonseca.
I am here.
Okay. Joy Lisette Liscano.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Diana Lisette Lozada.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Daniela Lozada.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Andrea Juliana Muñoz.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Natalie Joana Pérez. Not here for the moment. Ah, okay, there she is. I will ask her in a minute. Mayra Juliet Pinzon. Here. Mayra Plata.
Hi, teacher, present.
Okay, hello. Harold David Rodriguez.
Hi, teacher, I'm here.
Hi. Janini Giselle Sanchez.
Hello, I'm here.
Hello. Angélica Stephanie Sandoval.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Angélica. Daniela Fernanda Sierra.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Daniela. Ana María Velasco.
Hi, teacher, I'm here.
Hi, Ana. And Jennifer Jimena Pera. Well, it's not here. So just to clarify, the ones that are not here for the moment are Joely, Gilbert, John. Just want to confirm that now Natalie is here, right?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
There you are. And Mayra Pinzon. Ah, okay. And Jennifer Jimena. Okay. Very good. Well, guys, I was telling you at the beginning, like literally a few minutes ago, that we were going to start our Unit 6. Unit 6, the title says Big Ideas. We will be covering different aspects that are being presented on these first 2 pages of the book. Well, not first 2 pages, but the first 2 pages of Unit 6. We're talking about pages 56 and 57, okay? And as you see, what we can scan just by looking at the headings and also the images, we're talking about inventions. Before we actually, let's say, analyze the information that we have here on our pages 56 and 57, I would like to ask your opinion about it. Let me send this link to the chat. And it says, what do you think have been the most important inventions of the last 200 years? Name 3. Because this is just a warm-up, guys. We are just brainstorming. When you go to the link, this is what you're going to see. 3 different boxes. The idea, guys, is to write only the name of the invention. It is not necessary to expand on the reasons why you consider it is important. As you can imagine, that will be part of the final outcome of the session that we have for tonight. So for the moment, the idea is for you, from your perspective, your opinion, what you have read, etc., and name 3 objects or things that you consider have been the most important inventions of the last 200 years. You write the 3 inventions and then you send them. And here we will eventually see how similar or different your answers are. Okay. Well, I can see that the link is working. Anyway, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. I hope to get 18 answers out of the 19 that we are here. Of course, that is counting me. And let's see how similar and different your answers are compared to your classmates and also compared to what we will be reading on our book. 2 minutes starting now. Well, 30 seconds left and we have only 9 answers. Where are the other 10 answers? 20 seconds. Well, remember that when we have this type of, let's say app, when we create the word cloud, the words that we have in the middle and usually the ones that have a bigger size is because those are the answers that have been repeated the most. So somehow, most of you would agree that some of those great inventions would be internet, cell phones, smartphones. Then on a lower case, we'll be talking about electricity and of course, many other possibilities that we have. Anesthesia, of course, computers as well. That is a big one too. Hydroelectric dam. Okay, that was technical. Peacemaker, nice. World Wide Web, electric vehicles, the compass, well, the internet, just because of the article, but at the end of the day, it belongs to the same category. Smartphone, motors, cars, writing, se escapó doble T, pero solo es con una. Artificial intelligence, the washing machine is the best. Lights, as usual, I don't want to miss any of your answers. Laptop, Wi-Fi. Okay, guys, very good. For the moment, those are your answers. Let me close this question that we have in here. These images that we have on this slide are the same that we have here on the book. I just like organize them because here we have the pictures and here we have the questions. So it would be a little bit like difficult to have a look at both things at the same time. Let me go back to the slide. Based on the, let's say, important inventions that the book wants to point out, we have a standard time, running water, the light bulb, algorithms, and shipping containers. I want you to have a look, of course, at the photos and these headings, which we'll eventually read in a moment. And I want you to think for a couple of minutes and then to share what impact do you think each invention has had. Somehow, we have been, let's say, impacted by all these inventions. But first, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to think about it. Similar to what we usually do, then I'm going to ask you to share your ideas. Probably some of you would volunteer. In case that we don't have like enough volunteers, then I would choose some of you to share your ideas based on these aspects. Remember, from these 5 inventions, what impact do you think each invention has had? 3 minutes.
Sorry.
Yes. Yes.
How do you pronounce algorithm?
Algorithms.
Algorithms?
Well, the TH, that sound from thank you, you know, algorithms.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome. Very good. Let's see. 3 minutes is starting now for you to brainstorm and then we share. Okay, guys. Let's see what your opinion is. I think your perspectives, well, as usual, would be very interesting because all of you belong to different fields, and let's see how relevant all these inventions are based on, of course, from your point of view. So first of all, any of you guys would like to volunteer to share your ideas? Brian, thank you.
Teacher, about the first picture, the standard time. Um, this invention gives you the possibility to have uniformity in in your schedule with all the work. In this way, you can meet with other people to make business or to make events, and all the people can go to the site at the same place because all the people have the same schedule.
Okay. Okay, Brian, thank you. So that is about the standard time. Natalie, what about you?
Teacher, I think every invention makes our community or the human race advance in time. So we can organize our time, our life about time, our hours, days, months. And for algorithms, with that we can travel to the moon and make technology a lot of things, I think.
Okay, Natalie, thank you very much. You also pointed out algorithms. Yeah, from you guys that are more related to numbers, I was thinking like, okay, I wanna know how engineers or well, those fields in science that work with algorithms, how they see that in our life. In my case, I'm a complete ignorant, but I know how important they are, of course, on the development of everything. But your perspective is richer, definitely. Angelica, what about you?
I agree with you, teacher. I think that algorithms it is important because it's the basis of many programs, and I can imagine or work with apps, program, software important. For example, in my case, when I work in a lab or in many for many jobs, it's very important. And also in the standard sign, I always wondering how people in the past remember any date, for example, how they know for example, the day of the son, of the day of the birthday of her son's daughter. I don't know. So it's important to organize and to remember and celebrate special dates.
Okay, Angelica, thank you very much. Janine, what about you?
Well, I think that about the algorithms, they are through all the comments that my mates gave. But algorithms is not just for maths or just for programming or data science, because they give us the basis for complex programs or complex process for made the things.
For making things. Okay. It's like they are on everything, right, Janine?
Exactly, because algorithm just made monopolize the actions that we need to get a product.
Okay, Janine, thank you very much. Yeah, when I see those things, it's like, oh my God, they look so hard. Ugh. People who use them are really smart. Freddy, what about you?
I want to share my thoughts about the running water because, you know, thousand years ago, people they got the water from wells, and I think that it was really difficult for them at that time to get it, and also the hygiene of water. That's why they were exposed to many diseases because of that. They were not clean at that time, you know. They didn't take like the shower as we do in these days, and also because sometimes the system water was not improved as it is in this time, you know, like they didn't have the appropriate system to build like a bathroom to flush a toilet or something like that. They have to share like, how do you call that, like a communal bath for many people, just one for all of them. So yeah.
Absolutely right. There are some things that we take for granted, like for us, they are there and they are so obvious. But as you said, it was really complicated in the past, way too complicated. Absolutely. Were any other volunteer? What about the light bulb or the shipping containers?
Me,
Teacher,
teacher.
me.
Okay, Sylvia first and then Daniel.
Yes, teacher, about the shipping containers. The invention of shipping containers has revolutionized global trade and transportation. Be enable the efficient movement or transportation or goods between countries and continents. It has facilitated the ground of international trade and maybe contribute to the development of the economy.
Absolutely, Daniela. Remember what happened, if I'm not mistaken, last year with this big ship that like thousands of containers waiting, and the economy almost like, yeah, almost no, actually there was a huge economical problem because of the goods that were like waiting
They
there.
are stopped in the.
It was the Suez Channel, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I think that the impact is still present, you know, some things are still expensive because of those days that the ship was there, let's say, waiting, let's put it like that. Thank you, Sylvia. And Daniela, what about you?
Teacher, I want to share about the last event, shipping containers. For me, shipping containers, how do you say, lens that we people let the agriculture for a pass to industrialize because industrialize because the food will the food pass to shipping from another place that won't have this special or this kind of food. For example, la papa not grow in
the potato doesn't grow.
Potato doesn't grow in Barranquilla.
Okay. Okay, your version is more local, I think. But of course, we can also use that version.
Or for example, in other countries, for foreign.
Foreign countries. Absolutely. Well, guys, any other views that you would like to share before we move to the next part?
Sure, I agree with my classmate because I think the container had led to take advantage of all the thing that is around the world. For that reason, that's improving the trading, have improved our quality life quality.
That would be it. Very good, guys. Well, as you can imagine, of course, we're going to read about these 5 inventions in particular that are being presented here in our book. We already know the title of them. And I was asking like your perception on each of them. Of course, we're going to expand on that. But we will do that collaboratively. So as you already imagine, we will be working on breakout rooms. Guys, you will be in charge of reading one invention. Here we already have the 5 names. And as you already noticed, the paragraphs are quite short. Well, I know that is not like to be done in 1 minute, but the amount of information to be read is not that extensive compared to other type of readings that we have already done. The idea, guys, is that you are going to complete the chart with the following information that is being presented on the paragraph. First of all, when this invention was invented, I know that it sounds redundant, but that's basically the idea. And second, what problem this invention solved, okay? Once again, similar on like with the idea from yesterday, when I'm saying similar, it's like to let's summarize the information, pointing out the most interesting and relevant aspects that you want to share, well, based of course, sorry, on the question that is being presented. And then guys, there in your group, you are going to decide on a ranking, okay? Being number 1, you know, this invention that from your opinion, guys, is the one that has a most, why not, relevant impact in our lives, and being number 5, the one that has the least impact. Of course.
Teacher, so difficult. I think that all have the first place.
I want you to discuss in the groups.
Okay.
Well, not to argue, but to discuss. Yes, I know it is not easy. Absolutely. But of course, let's see how you manage to agree on that. Well, I know that it will be like impossible for you to agree on every single aspect, but let's see how similar your viewpoints are while ranking those 5 inventions, okay? Of course, guys, when we get back, I'm gonna ask you about your ranking and the reasons why you made that ranking in that way, okay? But yes, I know that it is going to be a difficult task for you to decide which one is like the best and which one would be the least. Questions, guys? Let me make sure that we don't have repeated names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, guys, because we are 19, there will be 2 groups with 4 students. That means, guys, that in your group, you will decide how to divide, let's say, paragraph 5, or maybe if one of you would like to read 2 paragraphs, that's up to you, okay? Because there are some students that are absent tonight. Well, I know that that's something that happens. Oh, no, we are 18, 19 counting me. And of course, I'm not part of the group. So first, I'm gonna share with you the link. And then I'm gonna send you to the breakout rooms. I didn't put the link here. Okay, there is one new participant. Let me check one thing. I'm going to create the groups again. So there will be actually 3 groups. Okay, don't worry. I just got a message in the chat. Sorry, guys, for keep you waiting. Let me rearrange the groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, I'm having issues tonight with my computer. Could you let me know, guys, if you have access to the presentation, please?
Yes, I do.
Yes, teacher.
We
Okay.
have access.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to open, well, I'm gonna give you, like yesterday, 20 minutes. I hope that it's a good amount of time. In case, no, I can't really tell you. I will be checking your slides just to make sure that probably you need extra minutes, but I will let you know. As you already noticed, you can share your screen. So let's start. Group number 1 is complete. Group number 3 is complete. Group number 2 is complete. Brian. Brian. Brian está en la sala. There you go. Well, guys, welcome back. It's time now to have a look at, first of all, how you completed the charts with the information that we had here from our book. And then the ranking, which is the part that I also want you to share. Let me, what we had in our book. And the slides in here. Well, let's have a look at group number 1. Well, first of all, let's talk about the inventions, you know, the information that you collected, what you summarized. We had 2 questions in particular, when the invention was invented and the problem that that invention solved or even has solved. We can use present perfect as well. Let's begin with the standard time. From group number 1, who was in charge of summarizing the information about the standard time?
Me, teacher.
Okay, so Sarai, when was it invented?
The standard time was not invented as a specific technology or invention, but was developed gradually at the beginning of the 20th.
Sarai, what was that?
Es que decir los 20.
But
20th
20th.
century.
But in this case, no los 20, sino 20.
Eso, 20.
Yeah, the ordinal numbers in Spanish are kind of, I wouldn't say complicated, but in my opinion, they're not as easy as in English with the TH or the second, first and third. By the way, in conclusion, the 20th century. Okay. And what was the problem that the standard time solved? Sarah, as well, please.
Teacher, but in England was in 1880.
1880?
Yes, in England.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Well, actually, that was when it really started. Well, they also...
Yes, was the first country.
Which was the last?
I don't remember. Was
Nepal. Very good. But yeah, like the specific answer is the one that you shared. Very good. The problem that it solved, Sarai.
The problem that standard time solved was the lack of coordination and consistency in timekeeping across different regions and nations, and enabled the development of more efficient and accurate timekeeping technologies.
Efficient. Okay. So yes, to be more specific about the year that it was already stated, let's have a look at group number 2. Who was in charge of running water?
Me, teacher.
When was it invented?
Well, the first report in history was 4,000 years ago in the Greek island of Crete, but only until
we already said. Actually, it's just like it is written, you know, and adding the TH at the end. It is not that different. So how would that be?
Yes, but I think that is not my life. Sorry. And
the teacher says the group 2.
Yeah, and Andrea is speaking, but because in some cases you forget to write down your names, I said, okay, maybe they have forgotten. Yeah, but group number 2, we have Christian, Diana, Daniela, Harold, and Janini. So thank you for the enthusiasm. Andrea, let's wait for your turn. So from group number 2, who was in charge of running water?
Me, teacher.
Okay, Janine.
So I was start to talk, but
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, technical issues. Okay. Well, Andrea already read when it was invented before you started talking. What problem did it solve?
Well, there were much people for just one bus that was divided basically by street,
Mhm.
and the person didn't have personal hygiene. I don't know how to.
Hygiene. Mhm. Well, I was going to make a correction here. We were able. Okay, Ganini, thank you very much from group number 2. Let's have a look at group number 3. Well, we will have a look at the rankings in a moment. I just wanna have a look at the information that you collected from all the inventions that were presented in there. We have Andrea, Juliana, Freddy, Garcia, Angelica Sandoval, Brian, and Judy. Who was in charge of the light bulb?
My teacher.
Okay, Brian, so when was it invented?
It was invented in the 19th
Mhm.
century.
Okay.
And it solved a problem related to the electric. No, no, it solved the problem to make possible to have light in dark places, at night, in the streets, in houses, and buildings. There was no need of using a match anymore, since the electricity was the main source.
That would be it. Algorithms, group number 4. Ana, John, Mayra, Stephanie. ¿Qué pasó aquí?
Hi, teacher. I don't know, Brian was in charge, but he disappeared. He never responded again.
But I saw that Brian was in group number 3. There was like a change of participants, looks like.
He was working with us.
Yeah, look, he was here. Okay.
I don't
Technical
know.
issues?
Yes. No, he spoke in our teams and he thought that he will do
He answers us. I don't know.
What happened, Brian? You were chilling.
Brian arrived our group, but later.
Maybe
So
that was
maybe-
my mistake. I sent him to
Yes,
group number
you put in
3
the
instead of
incorrect-
group number
yes.
4. So it's technically 50% of my problem. It's my fault. So don't blame
50%
him.
of Brian.
Yeah, because he should have said, no, this is not my group. I have to go to group number 4.
The
So sorry.
new partners.
Yeah, sorry, my mistake. 50%, by the way. I won't blame the whole thing on me. So algorithms, group number 4.
So it was invented by Ada Lovelace. She made the first code for a machine called the engine machine, but she never built the machine, and it never had been building. Keywords in a formula showing how to configure the engine. I mean, the machine that she designed with someone else to calculate a particular complex sequence of numbers that now we know as Bernoulli numbers. The formula is now widely recognized as the first computing algorithm in history. Ada, she has really good skills with maths, but she never execute all the code that she creates. Executed.
Okay, well, I think that you are talking about one of the most representatives,
algorithms.
What would be the noun in this case? Yeah, because, well, once again, I told you, I'm a complete ignorant in the topic. Based on the reading, they are talking about like the very, very first algorithms that were created in history. So I assume that is one of the well-known creators of algorithms, like from contemporary times, let's put it like that, right?
Well, I understand. I don't know. I made the search on Google.
You researched. Oh, okay, Mayra.
Yes, because I don't know. I assume that probably cultures like the Greeks and the Egyptians, they made something about it, but well, the first algorithm meant to be executed was created for this woman in the 19th century. I mean, it's like algorithm internet because I don't know.
Okay, yeah, you Googled, yeah. Yeah, the thing is that, well, we had some information. I'm not saying that you are telling us a lie or something, no, but just like to clarify, because I'm sure that some of the other groups are having a look at their answers and why we didn't read this information on our slides. Well, let's see, for example, group number 1 says we're written to the
Mesopotamians.
Mesopotamians. But according to the text, I'm going to have a look at the slide number 2. It was 4,000 years ago by the Babylonians. Okay, so it's not like we are lying. We are not lying. Of course, I'm sure that there are many important creators of algorithms through time.
Teacher.
Yes.
But I think that the Babylonians and the Mesopotamians, because they invent the maths.
Okay, good
They invent
point.
all the maths, and that's the reason why algorithms is about maths. So I
Okay.
think that's the reason why it always in the book says that the Babylonians and but it was like the first like you say in touch with algorithms was in that moment.
Okay, very good. Yeah, we kind of had a mini timeline, created with the facts that you had collected also from Google. And once again, I'm not saying that you have incorrect information. Of course, the history has to be like, oof, really, really, really long. Well, which problems did it solve? Group number 2. We already shared what Mayra had in her information that she collected from internet. But what about the paragraph that you read, guys? Which problems did algorithms solve? Who was in charge of algorithms in group number 2?
Teacher, it's the second, what problem did it solve?
Yes.
Okay, algorithm solve problem and reach the answer to machines. Nowadays, all machines that process information have it. For example, Google, internet, and traffic light.
Okay. There is one aspect that it's like part of the nature of algorithm that was presented on the paragraph, that it says that basically it is steps that you follow to solve a problem, right? That is probably the most basic, and I would say easier definition when we're talking about algorithms. Of course, we already know how complex they can be, not only to solve problems like general everyday steps, but we already talked about programming and also what it was read before,
Teacher.
Google and internet and stuff.
And not only in the way of technology. It's important to say this.
Absolutely, like everything, like the steps that you follow to solve a problem. I mean, we have to solve problems every day. In some cases, we have to follow very specific steps. So we are actually using algorithms all the time. It's probably because of the name that I include, when I say we, I talk about myself, that I, let's say, don't think of them as part of my everyday aspect of life, but as you already said, is not only for technology, for science, it's for everything, absolutely. The algorithms. And what about number 5? Let me ask group number 1, who was in charge of shipping containers?
Me, teacher.
Okay, so Sylvia.
The development of standard shipping containers solved the problem of inefficient and slow methods of loading and unloading ships, which involve arduous manual labor and a lot of manpower and a lot of time in this activity.
And when were they invented? I mean, the whole idea?
1950.
The 1950s. They, even in the paragraph, they are telling also how much time it used to take to load a chip. You remember how long? was
20
estimated?
minutes, like a week to load a chip, loading a chip
20 men a week.
a week. Yeah.
Imagine how expensive that was. Very good. Well, guys, let's see your ranking. Group number 1. You consider that the first one is running water. I would like to ask, in this case, Andrea, why you guys decided that from those 5, number 1 is running water.
Well, we think that running water is important because that invasion resolve health problems and is really useful for take a shower and cooking too. So we think that is really important in our daily life. Yes.
Okay. Number 2, you had a standard time. 3, the light bulb, 4, the algorithms, and 5, the shaping containers. Okay. Group number 2, you also have running water as number 1. Let's see. Number 2, you have algorithms. Sorry, I going back. Number 3 is standard time. 4, the light bulb, and 5, the shipping containers. Why shipping containers? Number 5, Harold. Why the last one in your ranking?
Hi, teacher. In our ranking, we put the shipping containers.
Why would that be?
Teacher, we think that everything is linked. We thought that for doing a lot of other invention, we have to create someone before. In that order, we think that the other efforts are necessary to create the last one. In that case, shipping containers.
Okay. Interesting point of view. Group number 3. You have, okay, your ranking is a little bit different. For you, the most important, let's put it like that, is the light bulb. I would like to ask Andrea Juliana. Why, guys, you decide that number 1 would be the light bulb?
Teacher, really? Personally, I think that the first is running water, but in my group decided that the first is the light. We think that it's very important for how did you say, like, yes, for the common things of the day, yes, for it, and the article say that it's important not only for the electricity, that it's important too for the people have many things to do in free time. With the light, with the electric, yes. So it's important.
Electricity.
But personally, I think that the most important is running water.
Okay, very good. Yeah, like that was your personal opinion, but let's say
yes,
that after
but in my
voting.
group, yes.
Okay, of course, yeah. As I was telling you before we started the exercise, I guess it was Daniela who said, but this is way difficult, like to agree on that. It is, of course. But okay, thank you for sharing your perspective and also what you voted in your group. Group number 4, you had the light bulb first, although we didn't have the information, and shipping containers number 2. Why did you put running water on second place and not on first place, John? John? Let's see the chat. Okay, John, don't worry. That's okay. The good thing is that you were part of a really good group. So, Ana Maria. Why did you decide to put running water on second place instead of the first that we would have thought that maybe would be the winner?
Because we thought that this solve a lot of things, including the how do you say, there were problems about about I I don't know how to say, hygiene,
Hygiene. Hygiene.
about hygiene, and so this is so important, and all these things about the city and how many days people work to find water. So this is uh, important for
Mhm.
us, but also we think that the first place was the light bulb, because the electricity is something that nowadays we need to for our quotidian life, and it's something that we need for everything. So also the electricity and light bulbs helps to the system of water. So yes.
Okay, very good. Very elegant with the quotidian, Ana Maria. That's very formal. Very good. Okay, guys. Thank you for your opinions and your perspectives. I think that you have already managed to complete your charts besides my mistake over here. There are a few things of grammar that I will eventually let you know when I correct the information presented on the slides. Guys, I'm sure that while you were reading the texts, the paragraphs that you were assigned, let me zoom out a little bit, you also noticed that we had some blank spaces on each paragraph, right? The good thing is that those blank spaces didn't really affect the whole meaning or the description that was presented on each invention. But of course, the idea is that now we can complete each paragraph. And that's what we have here on part 3A. Let's have a look at the instruction so we can check the information. Stephanie, please, could you read here 3A?
Of course, teacher. 3A. Complete the article with the phrases below. A has resulted in cheaper goods all over the world and has affected all our life dramatically. B, enabling international air travel and global business to take place. C, they have led to more flexible working worlds. D, this has transformed public health. And E, basically they make modern machines possible.
Transformed public health and basically, very good. Well, guys, notice that you read, of course, individually, but then when we went back here to the general calls, we had a look at the invention. I was asking you some questions. So up to this point, we all know, let me zoom out a little bit, what each paragraph was about. So for this exercise, you can't really say that you don't know because you were reading about algorithms and you don't have any information about the other inventions. We already do. Up to this point, we already do. Notice that here we have 5 statements that Stephanie has already read. The idea is to place them in the corresponding paragraph. So we can, let's say, officially complete the description of every single invention. Just in case for you to have a look at the readings, to scan a little bit those paragraphs, I'm going to give you 4 minutes. I'm sure that after you read these statements, you have already noticed in which paragraph they are supposed to be placed. But anyway, 4 minutes starting now. Okay. Let's see. So for the first invention that we had here, which was a standard time, which of these statements actually completes the paragraph? Daniela Lozada. Daniela. Daniela just left for a moment, it looks like. Let me ask Judy Lisette.
Sorry, teacher, I'm not sure, but maybe shipping containers.
Okay. You're telling me that A goes to number 5. Okay.
Number 5.
Well, I
Yeah,
was asking like the first invention, which letter you had like match it to. But you are right. Okay. Let's put it like that. So statement A would go to
shipping containers.
shipping containers. That would be the last invention. Okay. Let's put it that way as well. So what about the second one? Freddy, please. B.
It goes for the standard time. It
Mhm.
says like the time zones across the world were only standardized at the beginning of the 20th century. And let me read the enabling international air travel and global business to take place.
Okay. What about the next statement? I would like to ask Andrea Baca. Which invention does this statement belong to?
I'm not sure, but I think that with the light bulb.
The light bulb? Okay. That would be number 3, basically. What about the next one? D. Which invention is it related to? Stephanie.
Number 2, teacher.
But number 2 is?
Number 2 is running water.
Running water. Very good. So that means that we have left would be for invention number 4, which was the algorithms. That would be it. Let me send it to the chat. Someone let me know that is having problems with the connection. So just to make sure that everybody has the same answers. Let me send it. And then we move to the next part. There it is. Of course, the number is about the inventions and the letter, you already know what that is. Well, guys, notice that at the end of the day, we can say somehow that this, let's say, classification that we had in here was a little bit subjective, right? Everybody has a different opinion, as you already presented on the very first activity that we did tonight. When I was asking you, let me refresh your memory a little bit. From your perspective, which would be the most important inventions? As you already said, everything is connected, but technically, if we are talking about like very literal information, your answers were a little bit different from the ones that were presented on the book. Guys, it's going to be the same link, but anyway, I'm gonna send it again just to make sure. I would like to ask you, what would you add, and what would you take away from this list of 5 inventions that we had in here? These are the 5 that were presented on the book. As I already told you, probably a kind of subjective point of view. And now I would like to ask you, what would you add and what would you take away? Of course, providing your reasons why. Not only I would add and I would take away tan, 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 and that's it. Why would you add what you would like to add and why would you take away from that list what you consider is not that part, of course, of a relevant list of inventions. But we already stated that at the end of the day, all of them are important. Similar to the exercise that we did yesterday, let me show you once again. Here we have the box for you to complete it. When you click on submit, then the number of answers start appearing here. We will have a look at your answers. We will check probably if any correction in terms of grammar or spelling. So we make sure that we can polish those aspects, okay? Guys, do you have any questions about this instruction?
No, teacher.
Okay. 5 minutes, and then we can start having a look at your answers and hopefully I can check all of your ideas. Let's start. Well, let's start having a look at your answers. Let's see, enter. For the moment, we have 11. No problem. You would add the internet as a more relevant invention. I would take away the standard time. This was a really relevant invention for humanity. Okay. Internet in, standard time out. Also the internet. It's a tool that makes life much easier. And personally, I would not remove anything from the book list. They are all important. Okay, that's a very elegant answer as well. I would add the writing. And I would take away the training trainers. Replace them for the plain. Training trainers.
Shipping containers, maybe?
Yeah, maybe the shipping containers. Because the training trainers, I'm thinking about shoes. That wasn't part of the list. Replace them for the plane. Ah, okay. So actually, this person is, let's say, adding two things, the writing and the plane. Okay. I would add running water and take away the smartphone. I think it's the opposite because running water was in the list. So you would add the smartphone and take away running water. Okay.
But to take away running water is crazy.
Yeah,
I agree with
but
you.
I don't know. I mean, because how can you add running water if we already had it in the list and we can take away the smartphone because it wasn't on the list? So I don't know.
Maybe it's thinking about the la encuesta we did it before, the summary.
But the
I don't know.
summer, but the
That-
running water is, yeah, Christian, like let's try to save this answer, but I don't see how.
Yeah, I don't know. So maybe it's thinking that it's not from the book, but from the other image.
Ah, from the previous image. Ah,
Mhm.
okay. Ah, good point, Christian. Yeah, that's a good perspective. Like from the first question that we asked at the beginning of the class to add running water and to take out. Ah, okay. Good, Christian. Good idea. Mhm. Yeah, because I was like thinking like, how? Good. Thank you, Christian. Let's see, 5 out of the internet. I consider one of the most important inventions recent years, but it relates to algorithms. I will leave the containers out. Out, okay. I will add police because thanks to that invention, the society was able to make. Bueno, ojo acá con estos detallitos de grammar. Remember, guys, that after 2, we can't make any type of transformation to the verbs. The verb that is being transformed would be this one, talking about past. And then after 2, no changes. Let's continue. In the infrastructure of the cities, and I take away the shipping container because without the police, that utility never happened. Ah, okay. Well, that is an important connection between both things, of course. I hadn't think of Napoleon that way. Nice. It would be great if your laptop could be charged without being connected as we can do with cell phones. I would take away the fact that cell phones have bigger size day by day. Ah, okay, probably taking also the idea that Christian provided from the first list, not the list that we had on the book. Actually, it's an interesting point of view. I would add the computer. I wouldn't take away any of them because I consider that all of them are necessary. Okay. Of course, all opinions are respected. I like to add the microchips. Since their invention make it easier to create electronic devices in small sizes, allowing us to take them everywhere. I take away the standard time. It is an algorithm. Ah, okay. I would add the internet. It revolutionized the way we communicate with others and the way we get information. I would take away the shipping containers. 11 out of 13. Ah, but I want to finish. Look at the time. I would take away standard time because if we have algorithms, then we can set up the time. On the other hand, I would add planes for mine or for me. It's a very important invention. And I add credit systems and engines. The credit systems. Yeah, that is also one of the things that we had on the text. We didn't really read them. but of course they are important as well. I think both have changed us a lot. Okay. I think that both have changed. I think that both have changed our lives, plural, a lot. El a lot diría al final. One gives us the option to acquire more things that we need or want, and another sería and the other. Another es cuando es singular. Allows us to automate a task or reduce the task time. And to finish, I would like to add internet because it's part of the development of humanity, and without it, our life as I said could be less efficient. The internet nowadays gives us the opportunity to work and study remotely. Absolutely, without that, we wouldn't be here, okay? Well, guys, thank you very much for your answers. The ones that shared, I would really love to see the other ones, but I guess that because of time, we couldn't. Well, guys, as usual, of course, thank you very much. Keep on working, keep on studying. Don't forget the activities in the virtual campus. Guys, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
teacher.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.